Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You should know that the measure of a man is not what he does when everyone is watching, but what he does when no one is watching. You're what you are and where you are because of what's gone into your mind. You can change what you are and you can change where you are by changing what goes into your mind. You cannot become what you need to be by remaining what you are. Now, if you can't take a huge step to begin with, take as big a step as you can. But take it now. That's the key. Take it now. You can have everything in life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. Today's a brand new day, and it's yours. And that's a fact. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Mark Stevenson. I just want to thank you so much for joining us to another episode of So What's the Real Truth? Yeah, I'm Captain Mark. I'm your friendly neighborhood boat captain. But today my focus is helping the ex-offender, helping that person in recovery from substance abuse, helping that person who's just looking for a second chance, helping that person who lost faith in themselves. I think that that's my mission in life. They call me the rag picker, and I'm glad to pick the rags. Now, this is a live call-in interactive show. The telephone number is right down here at the bottom of the screen. Get off of your butt and pick up your phone and dial in, because most of the time I just can't hear you because you're talking to your television and I am not able to hear that voice of yours, and you are not able to give your opinion to our viewers. We want to thank you for taking the time to join us today, and we're going to be talking about quite a few things. But first, I want you to grab your pen and paper, because you're going to want to get in touch with me. Probably you're going to want to get in touch with me by phone or email. And I take pride in never having my phone all blocked up. I make sure I take pride in answering my calls back as promptly as possible. Or if you don't have the guts to talk to me directly, you can go ahead and email me at mark@captainmarkstevenson.com. I promise I'll respect you and get back with you just as quickly as possible. What are we going to talk about today, and what does that got to do with ex-offenders? How do we help people? Well, there's the real truth. So we think, what's the real truth about ex-offenders? But the fact is, there's your truth, there's my truth, and then there's the real truth. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it today. We're going to talk about a few things that are going on in the news. Hot topics are, of course, Trump's statements. Trump has been making some statements. How dare he talk about sex to one of his buddies in private? I just can't believe that he's done such a thing. But you got to remember, the measure of a man, again, is not what he does when everyone is watching, but what he does when no one is watching. The truth is, we're all being watched all the time. And so you have to make sure that you are not putting anything out there on purpose or by accident that you wouldn't want your mother to be proud of. And Trump put his foot in mouth once again, but that was some years ago. Now, of course, he's going to point out the things that are happening or did happen with Bill Clinton, and also about Mrs. Clinton and how she has been so-called holding back the people who have been accusing him and trying to attack them. What do you think? We want to know. Use the phone, and this is a live call-in show. You can call in and give your opinion on that. We don't have any opinion, but we want to make sure that you know that these things are very important right now, as we're less than a month away from Election Day, and everyone is on edge. I've never seen an election like this in my life. I know you haven't either. I've participated in them since I was a child. You know, the one thing that's going on in Chicago right now is the Get Out the Vote registration drive, and they are allowing people to register all the way up to Election Day. It's amazing. But I want to ask you a question. Is it worth even going out to vote? No, 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 that's not what I mean. Don't try and put words in my mouth. I'm asking you, why bother voting for president if the Electoral College is the one that really elects the president? He has to have 270 votes. And you know what? Yours truly would like to know who are the individuals in my area, in the Chicagoland area, that holds the electoral votes for the presidential election. Who are the ones that really select the president? And we need to know these things. I think that you may have some idea of some of these names, and we need to hear from you. Are they people who are powerful already in the political circles where the Central Committee, whether it be the Democratic Central Committee or the Republican Central Committee, those are the people that have the power to choose the people who get on the ballot to become electoral voters? Something to think about. It's happened more than once that the popular vote didn't matter. It was the Electoral College. So you better watch it. And those of you that are so sure that one party's going to win this election, you are pretty sure that one party's going to win this election. But you better know about the Electoral College and how that is going to occur this time around. I want you ex-offenders to be very, very cautious once again. And I tell you this each and every election time. These politicians, they come out the woodwork on you. And they want you, they know that you don't have money to attend their fundraisers. You're not going to be able to buy these $125 tickets or $500 seats or even a $50 ticket probably. The fact is that you're looking for a job, you're looking for a second chance. And many of them use you. They want you to pass out their literature. They give you a promise that they cannot keep. There are very few ex-offenders who can say that they have gotten jobs as a result of working political campaigns. So don't think that that's your way out. There's another way out, and you need to call me and ask about what are those ways. How do I know? Because, yeah, that's right, I have an X on my back too. That's right. I don't care who knows where I've been as long as I never forget it. And you better understand that the way that I was able to be whatever you want to call successful in life was to be able to surround myself with the winners. I had to surround myself with people who I wanted to be like. I had to get a stack of letters of recommendation of people who believed in me that I was not going to go back to the way of life that I used to live. But it was very difficult. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm still working on this. Some 20 years later, I'm still working on making myself a better man. But me, with a college education, and me with all kinds of experience, I'm going to tell you, this has not been an easy task at all. So I cannot imagine how it is if you have no education at all, if you have no training at all. I want to help you, and that's my mission in life. You know, if you know why God put you here on the earth, I think that you're ahead of the game. And my thing is to help you come into the maritime industry that's dealing with boats, because that's one of the few industries where you're not going to be scrutinized so closely that you're not able to make a fair living. We have a caller on the line. Welcome to today's show. What's your truth?
Good evening, Captain Mark.
Good evening.
Thanks for taking my call. Listen, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I've got an X on my back as well. I think we all do here in Chicago, and I'm really interested in how I can get involved with the International Stevenson Foundation and the maritime industry in Chicago, primarily so I can sail off into the sunset and escape the bullets. And I'll get off and let you answer that comment. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for calling. I want you to keep your pen and paper handy because I'm going to give out my telephone number and my email address again, and I will be able to show you how I did it. I will mentor you. I will work with you. Almost every type of offense is excusable to get into this industry, almost every type. So don't worry about what you did or how long ago it was. If you want to change your life and you want a second chance, it's my job to help you. Now, no, I don't have money. I don't have training programs. I don't have a whole lot of things. But what I do have is the motivation to help you. You know why? Because somebody reached out to help me. Zig Ziglar is the one who said you can find as many people as possible to help. If you want to get the things that you want out of life, help as many people as possible. Help them to get the things out of life that they want to have. And I want to make sure that you know, again, if you are an ex-offender, be very, very careful if you are called upon to work on a campaign. If a political person asks you about passing out literature, it's usually going to be for a few dollars to do it for that day. And that's okay. That's okay. But don't think that you're going to be sitting in these offices making phone calls and knocking on doors and collecting signatures and doing all the things that these politicians ask you to do in the hopes that you're going to get a job. If you don't believe me, the person who has helped more ex-offenders than any other politician that I've ever heard of is the Honorable Dorothy Brown, the clerk of the Cook County Circuit Court. Dorothy Brown showed me how to do it, and she gave me a chance. She's the one who opened some doors for me and encouraged me. And most of all, I think that Dorothy Brown put her hand on my shoulder and told me, don't worry, you can do it. At the moment, right at the moment when I wanted to give up, Clerk Dorothy Brown, and I'm not scared to say it, Clerk Dorothy Brown turned my shoulder around and to walk through the doorway that I could get some help. And I was able to start believing in myself. Thank you, Dorothy Brown, clerk of the circuit court. You know, if I haven't thanked you enough, I'm going to keep thanking you because you're the one that did it. But I'm gonna also hold your feet to the fire because Clerk Brown, you need to answer this question. How many convicted felons are on your staff? How many convicted felons are working for the clerk of the circuit court? Not your immediate circle, the ones you, of course, control a few jobs. And the rest of them, I know these are civil servant jobs, they tell us, and you got to go through the hiring process. But how many people are working in the Cook County Clerk's office who have criminal backgrounds? And that's the test. And I hold my friends accountable just like they hold me accountable. The next thing that I want to talk about is a sweet, 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 sweet deal. A sweet deal of a sugar tax. President of the Cook County Board, Tony Preckwinkle, has introduced legislation to tax 1 penny per ounce of drinks that have sugar in it. My goodness. Now, I listened to her today on Cliff Kelly's show. He doesn't have the guts to hold her feet to the fire. He's, oh, yes, that's wonderful, ma'am. That's just some wonderful stuff. Oh, I actually got sick listening to the show today. I'm so sorry, Cliff. I love you, but you have to use your bully pulpit to hold these politicians' feet to the fire. And you didn't do it until after she got off of the phone when you started talking about the real lack of connection between diabetes and the sugar drinks. Do you actually think that, folks, I need you to answer this question. Do you actually think people are going to stop drinking soft drinks? Do you? Do you think they're going to slow down? I don't know. I don't know. You have to tell us that. I'm sure that President Preckwinkle would like to know about the outcome of this, and I'm sure that if she hasn't had public hearings on it, she might want to. We have another caller, and we welcome you to today's show. So, what's the real truth? What's your truth?
One of these taxes going to end? That's my question. You're just talking about taxing on sugary drinks. We're looking at property taxes going up. We're looking at a bag tax being implemented to help pay for the city budget. I mean, it's going on and on and on. And so the question is when is my dollar actually going to be worth a dollar?
That's a very, very good question. I fully expect that you're going to be taxed for air eventually. The air? Did he say that you're going to be taxed for air? That's right. Eventually, somebody is going to tax you, the federal government, the state, and the city. They're all going to share in taxing you for air because they're going to say it costs them a lot of money to work the EPA, to operate these companies that monitor the air and water, but they're going to be taxing you for everything. So the answer to that question is taxes will never end. There will be taxes on even talking. The ink that's used to print newspaper, there's tax on everything. And so you'll never get away from it. It's just what some people have written me and called me and have talked to me about this and asking me, when is the money grab going to stop? I'll tell you like this, it doesn't stop. Now grab your ink pen. I'm going to give you this information again, and you can always reach Captain Mark Stevenson directly after this show, that is, because this is a live call-in interactive show. You can call me at 312-437-2230. That's 312-437-2230. Or you can email me at mark@captainmarkstevenson.com. I welcome hearing you. Now, we have another caller in. Welcome to today's show. What's your truth?
Yes. Hey, Mark, this is Steve. How you doing?
Steve, how are you doing? I've been trying to reach you, my friend. This is my friend, folks, who helps me.
I also try to reach you also.
This is my friend, ladies and gentlemen, who helps me to help so many other people because he and I know a little secret. We can't keep it if we don't give it away. How about that?
That's right. Hey, that's the God's truth. Hey, but listen, I want to make a quick comment to that last gentleman. He says when the dollar will ever be the dollar. Well, that won't never come around anymore. I remember when a penny was a penny. You could get a lot of candy with 5 cents. You could eat all day. Well, those days are gone. But listen, here we go again with another tax that they want to charge, and they're going to drive people straight to the suburbs again. But you know what? Let me tell you something. If I want something, I'm going to get it. But I'm going to complain while I'm getting it. But that's the problem. Why do we have to complain to go get something for your pleasure? And I don't mean nothing to kill you. Well, then I shouldn't say that, because a lot of people say sugary does a lot of things. But who knows? I'm not too sure about that. I'm not that smart. But again, they raise taxes on everything. And again, it's going to be people running to the suburbs. Listen, Mark, it's so good to see you back on air again. I think you're one hell of a guy. Anyone listening, what this man has
stop, just stop it.
And let me tell you, only thing you need to do is just listen to him, and he's going to direct you. Get that number, call him. He will truly help you. Mark, we're going to get together soon here. Let me get out the air so I can hear you respond.
Steve, please call me call me after I get off the air. I got a lot to talk to you about. Absolutely. You know, on the Cliff Kelly show today on WVON, I was listening to him talk after President Preckwinkle got off the phone, and he was saying how there are many municipalities that have been sued by companies, by stores and so forth, by these drink manufacturers, and they have won. They have won. So even if this bill is passed, the Cook County government, you can expect a lawsuit, and you may lose on this one. That's a fact. Not to mention that there's an awful lot of people who have connected with me, and they are telling me that they are going out of the city for gas. They're going out of Cook County for gas and water. They're going away from this place to get soft drinks now. And so, you can tax the paper bags, you can tax the plastic bags, that is. You can keep taxing, but the thing is this tax base, you better make sure that the taxes are going to help the people. In fact, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. How many from the city to the county to the state to the federal government, how many of our tax dollars are really going to help ex-offenders, people in recovery, and people that have mental health issues? You better think about it, because if you don't deal with it today, you're going to have to deal with it tomorrow. We have another caller. Welcome to today's show.
Yes, just as you stated, this only what we've been saying, all this crap that's going on about Chicago, which is a great city, all it do is force the people to the suburbs where they want us to be anyway. These people want the city. And what better way to get it than with this crazy Cook County Commissioner, Tony Pinkwinkle?
Well, that's
my comment. It's gonna, just like you said, gonna push the people to the suburbs. So once you push them there, hey, they buying the gas and everything there, and they happy to have us so they can take over Chicago. The city of Chicago. That's my comment.
I'll
hang up and listen to your comment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much.
I had a individual call me last night who told me that they were riding after getting a full tank at $2.63 for regular gas in Chicago. They went across the county line and ran into a gas station, and that same gas was $2.02. That's a big difference when you are trying to get a full tank of gas, that's for sure. We have another caller. Welcome to today's show. What is your truth?
Hey, Mark, and one other thing.
Yes.
They was considering that they was talking a little while back, let's have Tony Periwinkle to run for mayor. Now, if she's doing this now, I guess what is she going to do if she did run for mayor and become mayor? So it seems like it's just a continuous cycle. Let's get money. Let's get money. I don't mind you taking my money, but do something for your money. Like you say, you see more people walking around here homeless. You see more people talking out of their heads. There's people trying to get into programs they're not able to get to.
Yeah.
So keep on taking the taxes and don't do anything, and then we're going to see the revolt that's going to happen. Let me get out there again.
Thank you for your comment. The next thing that I want to make sure that you know is that you must police your own community. You cannot depend on the Chicago police or the state troopers to protect your block. You have to get out there and do it yourself. Knock on the doors and get the other men in your community out on those sidewalks. Those sidewalks belong to you and those children, and you cannot expect the police to help you if you are not trying to help them. The police are not the people to be afraid of. In fact, I have to tell you, my wife and I were at Starbucks the other day. I saw a couple of female cops come in. I bought them coffee. They said thank you and left out. A few minutes later, one of the cops came back in, one of the lady cops came back in and just in tears and was thanking me. And she said, you just can't imagine how rough we've had it. We have really, really had it rough. And so I'm going to tell you, all of them are not bad. Most of them are not bad. It's only a few of them. And so you have to show kindness. What you put out is what you get in. It's just like this television that you're watching right now. If you tune into negativity, I guarantee you that's what you're going to receive. The waves of the universe will act just the same way. So you have to make sure that you are tuning in to the positive, because that's exactly what you'll get back. And if you don't like the things that you've heard today, give me a call or send me an email. Here it is one final time. You can connect with me at 312-437-2230, or you can email me. And I tell you, if you don't like what you have been receiving, you can apologize to me later. Because I don't care.